Alright, this is another day. This is what I've came up with for an idea on fixing my mistake here, I guess, where it didn't line up down here on this end. So what I'm gonna do is measure out here, get it all tacked, and keep the same measurement on every one of these bars and tack it here. The ones that don't touch anything back here, I'll just tack it, and then I'll cut it off. Like this one, I think is gonna basically touch that one. I'll tack it 2 or 3 times back through there and leave it. I really don't have much of a better idea, so this is what I'm gonna do. Obviously you can see none of it's tacked up now, but that's my idea. That's what I'm gonna try. Okay, so this is what I'm doing, what I'm going with. I tried to center it up from here to here on this bar and this bar, except some of these bars down through here hit the other bars and it wouldn't let it meet right to center it up. So this is as close as I could get and let everything set down flat. I'm measuring right here an inch and tacking it, measure an inch, tack it, and I'm gonna proceed all the way across. Measure over an inch. See, I gotta push that one in just a tiny bit, and I'm gonna go all the way across, and I'll cut off the ends and everything like that. Okay, so I got all these tacked all the way across on every bar where it touches, all the way across. I'm getting ready to get the cut-off wheel and cut the end off there, and cut the end off there. Okay, you can see I cut the end off there. I'll finish tacking the other sides of them, and I'm thinking I might not cut the other ends off. I might just bend them over and make them touch the other bars and tack them to the other bars. Okay, now I'm going to start figuring up this end wall here. I'm going to take the piece that we had sticking out up there that we cut off from the other end. I'm going to use the ratchet straps and everything just like I did on the other end. I'm going to put it up here and start the process. Well, this panel's not going to work down here. So I've got it flush over here. Go all the way across. It hangs over a tiny bit. The second bar hits, the third bar misses, the fourth bar misses, fifth bar misses, sixth bar. See? And then you've got just a couple at the top that hit. So I don't want to splice almost all the bars on it in order to make them fit, and that's going to mess up with how I was wanting to measure it out. Because if you look right here, right there's the center bar. From here to here, you can tell that's not centered. And I wanted to center it the same way that I did on the other end. That way I could keep it the same as the other end and make it look right. So this is taking a break until we can go and get another panel. Okay, so since the other piece will not work for the end, then I used the smaller drops and I'm going to build the door down here. What I've got is this is one of the pieces, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this the bottom part of the door. Every one of them bars that stick out right there, I'm going to loop them around, and it's going to have however many bars that is. That's how many hinges it's going to have, instead of say going to Lowe's and welding hinges on it. I'm just going to make them out of them bars right there. I'm just going to loop them around them bars, and they're going to rest on top of the ones because the panel matches all the bars. So it's going to rest on top of these just like that. I already cut the bottom edge off of it. So it'll just rest on there like that, and I'm gonna make loops out of it, and that'll be the door. So I'll mess with that and I'll get back with you. Okay, so here's what I've got for the door so far. 3 panels wide, plus the bars that I was talking about using for a hinge. And I tacked on the top part. So this here is the full size door. Now I've got to worry about bending all them bars and make hinges out of them. Okay, so this is what I've came up with so far in order to help me bend all them bars. I had a piece of angle. I tacked it at the end where it meets and at the other end. And I'm hoping that that will let me have a uniform bend going all the way down through there so that they all start at the same, and hopefully it helps. We'll see. Okay, so this is what I figured out so far. You can see I've already got a couple of them started. Got this piece of pipe, put it over the end, pull it up just a tiny bit, and bends it right over. I'm hoping that that gives me uniform starts all the way down through there. I'll have to finish it with a pair of channel locks or something, but we'll get to that. Okay, you can see I got them all bent over with that angle there. It's not perfect, but I'm hoping that it's good enough. Now I've got to get the angle off of there and finish it up. Okay, you can see I got the bar cut off of it, the angle I mean. I've got the tacks cleaned up where I had it tacked on there holding it. Now I need to go put it on the frame and see what I can do about finishing those bends. Okay, so this is how we've got it set up. Hold it in place while I finish bending all them bars. Couple ratchet straps holding it. Got pretty good pressure on it. Hopefully that'll work so that I can finish bending all those bars. Okay, so I got the bars bent over on every single one of them. I need to go back. I'm gonna cut it. Hello, focus. I'm gonna cut it right here. This is the door. This is the frame of the cage. The wire comes around here, and that's the end of it. I'm gonna cut the end of it back to here. That way I can squeeze it in and take up that gap right there where my finger's at. Right now, you can take the door and move it like that. I'm hoping that if I can squeeze that together a little bit right there, that it will not let it do that so much. Right here, the door does open and close. And it actually does pretty good. It doesn't bind up. It opens up real easy. I'll say it worked out pretty good. I'm gonna work on cutting those and finishing it up, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so you can see the pile down there. I cut off all the excess bars. I cut off the excess bar right here. And I took channel locks and I squeezed them together. Now I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna put a tack right here on every single one of them. And I'll get back to you. Alright, there it is, all tacked up. You can see I tacked every one of them up through here, even the very top one. Shuts. You can see the gap is really nice to be the type of hinges that I just made, and shuts real nice. So now we need to get a couple more panels. That way I can finish the other end. And One thing at a time, we'll get this thing done.